This village is much like many other villages across the land, around the planet and throughout time. The people of the village work hard to grow crops, keep animals and make food. If they do so, they have enough to eat. If they're lazy or selfish or the weather turns bad, then there is not enough food and they go hungry. If that wasn't difficult enough, in recent years there's been another challenge. Once a year a king comes with his knights to visit the village. His knights demand that every hut has to hand over a sack of grain. This often leaves the village people hungry and resentful. They groan and moan about it. They sometimes argue. They sometimes blame each other. Today is the day of the king's visit, and tensions are high. Whilst outside the village collecting firewood, one old woman listens to the groaning and moaning and arguing and worrying. She remembers the days before the king, when the sun shone and everyone ate well. She wishes to return to those days. She looks at her pile of sticks and has an idea. Hurrying back to the village, she hands everyone a stick from her bundle of firewood. The villagers look at the spindly sticks. "What are these for?" "They're to prepare you for when the king arrives," she says. The villagers laugh. "How will these help? Will the king accept the sticks instead of grain? Will we tickle the soldiers?" Big John snaps his stick in half. The others do the same. "Stop wasting our time," they say. "The king will be here soon." But she isn't finished. "I have a challenge for you, John, as you are the strongest man in the land. You snapped your stick. Now snap this bundle of sticks." Big John seizes the bundle and begins to bend. He groans and he moans. His face twists in fury. He goes red with rage, but he can't snap the bundle of sticks. Just then, they realise the king and his knights had arrived. The king looked at the broken sticks lying on the ground and laughed. "Were you making weapons? Were you preparing to defend yourselves from the wolves that roam the mountains and sometimes come to savage your animals? You know my soldiers defend you from those monsters with their swords." "No," said the old woman, climbing up onto the pile of sacks. "We were realising that a stick on its own can easily be broken." "Indeed," smiled the king. "Broken in half," he laughed, as the soldiers held tight to their swords and lances. "I also saw," continued the old woman, "that sticks cannot be broken when they stick together, when they stand side by side, shoulder to shoulder in unity." As she spoke, the other villagers began to gather around her. Standing together like that, the villagers felt safer. They felt stronger. They realised how many of them there were. And even though they still felt they could be broken on their own, they knew that standing together, they were strong. Looking at the king, it appeared he knew it too. He looked a little uncomfortable. The knights stepped back. The pile of grain didn't look as attractive today to the king.